worked and we're hooked up a few minutes late today, but welcome to all of you out there. We've been reading on the chat where we've all come from today: Finland, Singapore, Canada, America, lots of Australians, even two friends of ours in the room live today, Brendan and Campbell, who are reporting on the chat from behind the scenes. Welcome back, and before we start, I have a big favor to ask you. We've been wondering how to get the word out about the Hangouts a little bit better while they're running, so that as many people as possible can take advantage of these amazing tips that my guests have to share with us. So would you go to your Facebook pages and share the post? I think Tim is about to put up a post. Tim, have you put up the post about what's going on? Say you're on live. If you feel like it, we would love that. Either tweet it, Facebook it, say tune in live and see the most amazing tips of my guest today, Dinka Migic, I got it right, Vlatkovíc. Welcome back to the Horn Hangouts. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here in Berlin, especially. And
Dinka came specially today. Her daughter lives in Berlin, so she's visiting her as well. But she's come for the Horn Hangouts because our last Horn Hangout, as you probably know, we met actually. I mean, I've known your husband, Radovan, for many years, but we'd never met.
We met on Skype.
On Skype, and we met literally on Skype. It's so nice to be in the same room with you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, people are, everyone's watching. It seems to be working. Hi, everybody. Dublin, Melbourne, Taiwan, amazing. Detroit, incredible. Thank you for joining us. So, today, I promised everyone we would solve all their problems of performing.
Well,
well, I hope you're going to solve mine. So we had the most amazing hangout last time, and I watched that again on the weekend, as you did as well, didn't you?
True, yeah.
And what I realized was that you came up, what we all want as musicians is a quick fix. We want to be on stage and to have something that'll work just like that and take away all our nerves. What was your feeling about the last hangout we did?
You know, I have to tell you something. My youngest son stopped to play flute because when he started, he realized it doesn't sound like Galway or play, and he gave up. So, I mean, we live in a time when everything is instant, and we want instant solutions. Bad news, as I told you, there is no instant solution for that. And actually, there is no solution before the performance that you can, switch some trigger and be relaxed and be happy to be on stage.
But there are things you can practice to do.
You can practice things. That's it. And it's really about practice, like playing horn as well. I mean.
Okay. So in the last hangout, I came out with all the questions I've had to deal with myself. Our viewers came out with their questions as well, which I hope we're going to get to. But my questions were obviously more about this quick fix. I wanted to know, what do I do on stage when my heart starts pounding? What do I do on stage when I have a dry mouth? And you had some great tips for that, I must say. Your wing wave you suggested, which I like. There's all sorts of the Jakobsen method.
Yep.
If any of you can find any links to these online, Jakobsen, wing wave, all these things, they're all very helpful.
Yep.
One of my favorite quotes was that you said humor is the best combat for stage fright.
And it's true, yeah.
So that's already something good.
Yes, it is, yeah.
So there are methods. What? Let's just talk about do you have favorite methods?
Well, the thing is, we have to be aware how powerful our brain is and our thoughts. So,
even horn players?
Even horn players. Well, I just learned in a new research study that the horn players are the most stable, psychologically stable professionals, musicians.
Yes.
So, come on.
Is that true? What do you guys think?
Well,
do you think that's true?
It has to be true.
Well, are we emotionally stable?
Yes, you are. Much more than string players, for example.
Well, we knew that.
Well, okay. I was a string player.
That's true. You're a violinist. That's true. That's true.
So this emotional stability is of course very important.
Why are we more emotionally stable?
Well, I thought a lot about that. Were you a stable person so that you started to play horn and decided to play horn? Or did you develop this, stable approach during your studies, because horn is such a risky instrument. I don't know. Maybe combination of
interesting
of both, so to say. But it's obviously true, and also you are the most friendly and most how can I say, the horn players are very
gregarious, we call
yeah.
it, or outgoing,
yes,
beautiful, talented. What else are we?
and very supportive to each other,
Yeah.
which is not the case with.
Well, we have to be, it's a tough life.
Yeah, it's a tough life. That's true.
But I'm sure we have lots of other instruments watching today. I'm sure we have, and we certainly don't mean to.
I didn't want to offend anyone.
No. But I think musicians in general have a rather positive approach to life. At least in my orchestra, I'm very happy to say that we do.
Well, they start doing something they loved, and that they are earning money with that. I mean,
it makes us very happy.
It should. Yeah. But the competition is so high, and this is also what makes people today very, very nervous about playing and their stage appearance.
What makes people, in your experience, you have people coming to you with all sorts of problems. What makes the people most nervous?
Competition, and also compulsion to prove to oneself something, and it's tough. It's so many really great musicians around, and we all know how it looks like at the moment. So for the young people especially, to come to this, stage and everything, it's so difficult. So this competition feeling and proving how good you are.
There is one more thing that I think that could be included in that, is the fear of the fear, and that's maybe for the older ones, not of course when you're a student being in fear of competition and having to prove to yourself, but also the fear of the fear when you get a little bit more experience and you've had some traumatic experiences and you're always a little bit afraid.
Yeah, you start to go in this circle of fear, so to say. Yeah. Because the good experiences, whenever you have a good experience, this is your resource for the next time to cope with the situation. When you have a bad experience, of course, this is the source of your fear next time. So you have to really try every time to cope with the situation the best you can.
I would love to just be able to just play and not to worry. Those are the best performances, where you forget everything. You forget about being worried about that note. You forget about what you're doing after the concert. You forget about who annoyed you before the concert. You just play and you feel so at one with the music that. But
you have to be excited as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is something I always. This is the first time I teach you musicians this excitement. You need this excitement.
You did say on the last hangout, you said it is important. I asked you if there was anything good about stage fright.
It is for sure. This whole adrenaline you get. It makes you more focused, more concentrated. Everything that you need actually to see everything, and things like that. So it is a positive thing, and if you have this positive approach to it, if you think positively about it, it's already one step, towards making it easier.
Okay, that's already our first trick, is thinking positive. Right, so that's it. That's something we can all do.
That's it. I mean, if you really think, and also it's very important to just be aware of let's say, sensations that you feel. If you feel completely just exposed and not in a control, it makes you miserable. So if you just start, if it starts, I don't know, heart beating, dry mouth, whatever comes, just try to be aware of it. Just like saying, okay, now I have it, increased heart beating, I can feel it.
It's better than saying, don't be nervous, don't be nervous.
So that's it. Okay, trying to suppress it, trying to deny it as well, it makes you even more nervous. Okay. Because your subconscious, your body is screaming at that point, like, I am nervous. You are trying to tell me I'm not, I am nervous. So it makes you even.
So don't deny it, but
don't deny it.
Watch it and try.
That's it. It's
a hard thing to make your friend, though, because it does get in the way of.
True, but this is the first step that helps you, just to put it in normal stage of excitement. I like to call it excitement.
You call it excitement rather than nervousness.
Of course, because it's positive word for it, So it's easier to think of it. It's excitement. I'm excited, to come there.
You're coming to the concert tonight at the Berlin Phil, so I'm going to be very excited on the stage and play just for you tonight. Okay, so we have to be aware. We have to not deny.
Okay.
So those are, and in the moment when you suggested a few of the techniques, I like the Jakobsen technique when I can feel my legs getting very tense. Because I've practiced it, I can let go of that. Yep. One thing I also really liked was you said some people think when they're nervous they have to try and relax where the tension is. And you said no.
No. You try to
let
go, release, but the other just not important muscles. So think of the parts of your feet, knees, whatever.
Not trying to relax.
Not trying to relax here, because at the same time when you relax your other muscles, these muscles also are more relaxed. That's for sure. One very quick fix, if you ask for.
We like the quick fixes.
Quick fixes. You have to know how the brain works. Okay. If you give your brain the signals of relaxed stage, of happiness, your brain thinks this is true, and you get your dopamine, endorphins, and everything you need for a happy stage and relaxed stage. So the thing is, actually, if you stand like this in front of your mirror, even if you don't feel happy, your brain gets the signal. Okay,
we're going to try this all around the world, wherever you're watching from. All of you in the room here, we are all going to smile and see if we feel happy.
So
I feel happy.
After a while.
I have you here. So you really think...
But it's really true.
Okay.
I mean...
Are you all smiling? Is everybody smiling?
So...
I hope so.
we have a proof now with this biofeedback technique and everything. We now have a proof that this really works. Because they can measure it. They can measure your happiness, so to say. It's also when
How
you
can
sleep.
Do that on stage? So if you're sitting in a concert tonight, you see me sitting on stage like this. You'll know I'm nervous.
Well, we can always,
I could
smile, flirting with audience.
Now I've given it away. If the digital concert hall audience is now going to watch and look at the horns, they're going to know exactly when we're frightened.
Snoopy smile.
Okay, but I can tell my brain, no, even though my heart's beating and I feel rubbish, I'm actually happy, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to play the horn. I'm happy to play for the people.
Yeah, very important thing. I think I told last time, don't tell lies to yourself. Don't deny. Don't tell lies like,
everyone's smiling all around.
Smiling, oh great.
Andre in Watford, in Montreal, in Taiwan, everybody's smiling.
So don't deny, but think of things that really makes you happy. Okay. It could be, playing Horn Hangouts, but playing with a great colleague or whatever what makes you really happy.
That's a really good tip.
As I said, a supper after.
Richard in Melbourne, very late in Melbourne, as we know, because astonishingly handsome Tim is running the stream in Melbourne after a very long day. Thank you, Tim. He asked how important it is to take some deep breaths before.
Of course, breathing is such an important thing. I mean, as a horn player, you know that. But breathing is an amazing thing. There is I don't know if I can teach you with a camera. Do you know how you breathe when you are sleeping?
Yes, like a baby sleeps. It's everything.
No, it's on the back of your. It's like
of the throat.
On the throat, the back of your throat. That's it. You can hear it. Yeah.
Someone that breathes like that when he's asleep and snores with it.
Like snoring, just a little bit like snoring. That's the way how you breathe when you are sleeping.
Okay.
So it's also one thing. If you breathe like this, your brain thinks, "Oh, I'm relaxing. I'm falling asleep."
That's totally different than just going.
No. It's totally different. Is this, from?
Okay. I can see everyone around the world.
Trying this. Yeah.
It's sort of like, but it's what I say in masterclasses is taking dark breaths as well.
Okay.
We don't have any of this.
No, this is relaxing all your muscles here actually.
Yeah.
It's really this deep breathing when you are falling asleep. And it's you can hear it also. It's
do it once for us. No snoring.
It's here.
Okay, it still goes in quite deeply.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
That's it. And also closing your eyes, even for a few seconds.
I'll fall asleep.
Makes you not fall asleep, but it makes you more relaxed.
These are great tips.
So these are just the small things. It doesn't vanish.
We're going to get into the big things, but I love to have a little.
These are really,
tricks.
really, just if you do few of these things.
What about breathing through the nose, like in yoga breathing?
It puts too much oxygen in your brain.
To be honest, I thought that too. I did yoga for a while, and I did the Kapilabhati.
It's great to bring the energy, to have energy. And that's also, I don't know if I talked about that last time, there are different types of nervousness, and every person reacts on the other way. So some persons have this high adrenaline shot. Okay, and the other persons have this noradrenaline shot. So noradrenaline.
Okay.
So these are two drugs, actually. No, two hormones, which we have in our body. And if you have your adrenaline increasing, it makes your noradrenaline also increasing, and the opposite way. Okay.
Is one more positive than the other?
They are different. Okay. Adrenaline makes your heart beating very.
Which we don't like.
We don't like, They also say, the psychologists say, or neurologists say, noradrenaline is preparing you for fight. Adrenaline is preparing you actually for flight.
To get the heck out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Off stage.
So, and also, noradrenaline makes you actually very tired. Okay. The feeling is, some people say, I'm nervous, my heart is beating, and I'm sweating, and the other would say, I have dry mouth, dry hands.
Does it depend on the type of person? What makes that?
It depends on type of person, but my research showed, I thought, first of all, it depends on the type of person. But I realized the same person could have once a reaction like this, once reaction. We need more research about that.
Please.
Okay.
Why is one person totally not nervous and needs a coffee before a concert? No name. So one of my colleagues, I can tell him that he admitted on the Horn Hangouts, Fergus has to drink a coffee before a concert. If I drank a coffee, my horn would fall out of my hand.
That's it. That's exactly it. And this is also then the difference that you need as a person. If you know, for example, the persons that have adrenaline, they really need these relaxing techniques. If the person with noradrenaline do a relaxing techniques before he falls asleep.
Okay.
He's a zombie on the stage, so to say. Okay. So it's wrong. Okay. So you have to, and this is.
Are you guys noradrenalines or adrenaline? That's what I would like to know that. Maybe it's different in what country you were.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think it depends also on how much sport people do. I really think so.
Oh, really?
And I think
are you saying
nutrition
we should do much more sport?
We should do, for sure. Well, sport, if I can suggest anything, sport is such an important thing, really. You know that stress hormone is cortisol. Actually, the only way to decrease your cortisol in your body is sport.
Does it have to be a sweaty run, or can it be a walk?
It can be anything. It can be anything. Just move.
Okay.
Move. Okay. Whatever makes you happy.
That's the next in our bag. In our bag of nervousness,
That's
tackling tricks. Sports.
So this is very important, and I think that these people are more into adrenaline reaction. But this is...
Tim just wrote, I'm loving a sleep breathing relaxation. Tim, don't fall asleep. The stream will stop. Yeah, okay. John Putnam, hi John, he said Freud's thoughts on playing well. She speaks about breathing like a baby to relax. So
that's it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, on the back of your, so to say, throat. Yeah.
Okay, we're doing really well. Someone's just also asked, Rob van der Laar, he's experienced with the centering methods from Don Green and the heart math methods. It shuts down the noisy brain and keeps you in the zone. I guess you could, there's all sorts of... There's all sorts of
possible techniques. The thing is, do read about it, talk with friends or colleagues. Find out what is the best for you.
But talking about it, this is something that in our world one doesn't really talk about being nervous too much. And when I was studying, no one ever did. The first time I stood up on a stage and my knees started shaking and my mouth went dry, I thought, what's wrong with me? I didn't actually know that's what it was. These days that's why you're here.
It's more, it's more and more, and that's great. I think it's wonderful because, people thought before, it's only me feeling nervous. Everybody else is so relaxed and so happy. And this is not true for sure.
Cynthia and Rob, how do we calm down when our lips are shaking so hard we can't get a sound out? I absolutely hear what you're saying. Sometimes we're in such a shaky zone that you forget to tell yourself, feel happy, breathe at the back of your throat.
Yeah, it makes you crazy.
But to get into this stage, you have some ideas. There's nothing you can do at the moment, or not much you can do at that moment.
Yeah.
We have to start working towards that moment.
Yeah, that's it.
Much earlier.
And this is something I'm trying to say all the time.
Tell us.
It's really what happens on the stage is actually a stress situation, shaking knees, whatever. Just to answer this question, whatever happens with any muscles of yours where you're shaky or something like this,
it always hits
just
the muscles.
focus on something like something else. Okay. So do some exercise with your knees or with your hands or
so
whatever.
If you're up on stage playing a concerto and your lips start to shake, then think of your elbow or your knee. Think of something else.
Okay. You can do this. You can just move your shoulders or something like this, or you can always do your fist and make it loose. Nobody will notice it actually, and it helps you just to refocus, so to say. It helps at the moment, and just think of that, and as I always say, practice. I mean,
everyone's writing about shaking. Everyone's writing about shaking.
I know.
Elaine, Vicky, they all want to. Orange juice is very good against a dry mouth. Thank you.
Grapefruit is even better.
Grapefruit even better. Okay. That's a good tip. Grapefruit juice before concert.
It is. Yeah. Grapefruit brings all the toxins out of your body. And let's say cortisol, the stress hormone, is also a toxin. It's a toxin.
I hope you guys are writing this all down, because these are the most amazing tips. I'm going to be going back and watching this hangout. Grapefruit. We had Marie-Louise Neunecker telling us that that her students always eat a cheese sandwich before, and that's good for your stomach. But now, grapefruit juice. If I can,
if I can tell you, nutrition is very, very important.
I interrupt you. We'll talk about
it's really important. In the meantime, we have research about the food that increase anxiety and the food decrease anxiety. So you have to know it.
Tell us what foods increase anxiety. This is fantastic.
Okay, for sure, sugar. Sugar is the first thing you don't need. Sorry. Alcohol, coffee, you don't need.
Is this just on a day of a performance, or in your
diet? It's just recommended. I know I'm dying without sugar. Sorry, but it's true. It just makes you more nervous. The things that help, all the food that has a lot of magnesium and a lot of B vitamins, especially B12.
Yeah.
So magnesium, that's banana, wonderful thing before the
Banana.
concert.
The horn room is full of banana peels.
Great.
During
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
concert.
It's really good. It's magnesium, it's kalium, it's vitamin B.
Sometimes makes our mouths a little bit dry. That's
Could
anything.
yeah, could be yeah. But beans, they have a lot of.
Horn players can't eat beans before
I know. I'm
concert.
sorry, but don't do it before the concert. But in your
general.
diet in general, yeah, of course. And this acai berry, which is very popular now for
These little red berries, these dried ones.
Yeah, you have them in a I don't know, tablets in the meantime.
Oh, okay.
And
They taste horrible.
They taste horrible. They recommend it now for weight lose, but it's actually a fantastic anti-anxiety food.
Really?
It is.
You're writing this down, guys. I'm going straight out to buy bananas and grapefruit juice and acai berry tablets.
So I mean, there are some good books about it, which I could really recommend. There is a.
Could you? That would be great.
Yeah, there's Trudy Scott. It's anti-anxiety food solution, I think. Trudy Scott.
Trudy Scott. Trudy Scott. Can anyone find a link to that? Trudy Scott.
She wrote a book. I think it's anti-anxiety food solution.
Fantastic.
Something like this.
We want that.
A really good book.
Okay.
It doesn't. Don't be confused. She talks about anxiety in general.
Yeah.
Panic attacks and things like that, but it's really a good research and very good book.
Great.
And also Dr. John Borisenko. Borisenko.
Okay, what's the name of that? Oh, good. Thank you, Campbell. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Borisenko, she wrote a wonderful book about burnout, and she also wrote a wonderful book.
Joan, not John. Okay, Joan.
Joan.
Oh, Joan Borisenko.
Borisenko.
And do you know what's it called?
Her book about burnout is Fried.
Oh, okay.
Fried, why you have burnout or something like this.
Yeah.
And she also wrote a book about nutrition.
Good.
Yeah. So these are really good things to read and to know.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic. I think so. The sports, and we all know actually in the back of our brains or in the front of our brains, sport and nutrition has a lot to do with how we play. But how many of us do actually take that so seriously that we want to change our diet?
Yeah. The problem is, we don't like change.
No.
People, they just generally don't like change, even if we know that this change is for good. But we don't like to change our habits, and
even if we're dying of nerves.
If we are dying of nerves, we look for instant solutions, but it's about really changing the habits. It's a step-by-step changing the habits. And mostly what I realize what people do, I give them some advices or some tips, and then they want to change the next day everything. And then of course it's difficult, they don't succeed, and after 3 days they give up. so it's about step-by-step changing an attitude and then changing a habits. You need it's also research, you need 21 days to change some habit. So
is that a medical?
Yeah.
21 days to change a habit.
21 days you need for 3 weeks to change a habit. So, or to have a new habit. Actually, you cannot change the habit. You can just learn a new habit, doing something new. You know. So if you want to, if you say okay, Dinka said sport, and then you start to train for a marathon or something like this. No, please don't do it. Or or you decide, okay, from tomorrow I start to, go to fitness for 2 hours a day. Do maybe your 5 minutes every day, and that's already a step one. And it's much better, because if you try to change a lot of things in a short time, you won't succeed. You just learn that you cannot succeed, that you cannot,
feel bad about
and
yourself.
you feel bad about that. It's about feeling good about yourself. Feeling.
It's hard to feel good about yourself if you come off stage and you've played something that you didn't do very well, or That's sometimes hard. We're so critical with ourselves, and everyone says, "Oh, come on, it was just one note." You can't tell a horn player that it was only just one note. One note can ruin your whole week.
Of course, yeah, and we have to know we are the worst critics of ourselves, you know, and this is something we can also change, so to say. So.
Well, you don't want to change the being critical with yourself.
No, you want to be realistic.
Yeah, realistic.
Okay, so be realistic. Put the things in a real position. You know, you didn't kill anybody in an audition or something like this. So be realistic. Don't be critical. Don't be like, oh, it's okay. But just try to be realistic. And it's not about like comforting yourself. It's about, okay, I did the best I could today. You know, so that's realistic, because
I always put a butt in after that. I did the best I could today, but you should have done that. And that's probably not very productive.
No, because it stays with you.
On the other hand, I don't want to be too
time.
nice to myself, because then I think I've got to get it right the next night. We always have 3 concerts in a week, and if something goes right on the first night, goes wrong on the first night, it's you've got to get it right the next 2 nights, and that's quite a big pressure to deal with. And if you say on the first day, oh, it doesn't matter, or you did the best you could, for me that's not enough impulse to go into.
I think it's very important to be good to yourself, because this is the first step. If you're not good to yourself, if you're too critical, then you come to this. Your healthy ambition start to be a compulsion to prove something. And this is actually the first stage of the burnout circle.
Sorry. I'm absolutely. Guys, before the hangout started, Dinka and I had a little chat about what we wanted to talk about today, and I said, we both watched the hangout, and we actually enjoyed watching again all the tips. But Dinka said she wanted to get into more about what happens before those moments on stage, the stress management, and she mentioned the B word, this burnout word, and I said, oh, you don't want to use the word burnout on the hangouts. It's so depressing, and no one wants to know about these burnouts. But you said you said to me really strictly, you said if people don't know about burnouts and don't know that this is possible, those are the ones that then get one.
Yeah, as I said, I mean this is something we don't talk about a lot, and this is something we can prevent only, and prevent by educating people what burnout means and how it starts and how it looks like. It has. Well, the researchers, the psychologists say that it has the circle of like 12 stages. It starts with this proving something. And in these 12 stages, so to say, in the first 4, 5, even 6 stages, you can still stop it. After that, nobody can stop you. Because you lose the sense of reality, you lose the relationship to yourself.
That's what this is.
That's what happens in a burnout.
It's a terrible sounding word.
It is terrible, and I really want people to learn more about it, to be aware at the beginning, and to do something against it, and not to come the. Because for me, when I was studying it, that the worst thing that the doctor who taught us said, it was, when they come to the stage 6 or 7, you cannot stop them. They have to hit the wall.
That's terrifying.
And that's terrifying. That was terrifying for me. I thought, oh, what can I do as a psychotherapist? If somebody tells me there is no way, and it's a sad thing to know, and it's very important to know. If you are gone so far, you really have to hit the wall to do something.
Okay.
So please be aware of symptoms, so to say. And the symptoms are, when you start to feel I have to prove something, I have to prove it.
And I think all of us feel that somehow.
That's why I'm talking about it. That's why I'm talking about it. If this proving something is more than your fun and you're enjoying what you are doing, then start to rethink it, because this is something that brings you in this circle where you where you start just to fix on your fix your thoughts only on your job, on your work, not thinking anymore that you need a time for relaxing and you know a time for sport.
Why are you looking at me like this? I think he's trying to tell me to relax more.
It's really, you know, we need a balance.
You're absolutely right that life is so busy, and I can only say here in this orchestra it's an amazing privilege to play here, but we're busy all the time, and sometimes when you think, okay, now I have a little bit of time to relax, oh, but I just have to practice that, or I just have to do that. You have to really, I find I have to really force myself to make time. And it is, and I mean, it will sound like advertisement, but you need a coach. I mean, not you, but everybody needs somebody. It's also, you know, I can recommend some good books. You know, you can read about it, but you also didn't learn to play horn and reading books. You know, true. So somebody had to show you, somebody had to control you, and you have to practice it.
And you have to practice it. So it's very important, and as I talked about changes, you know, and doing the changes, you need somebody to control it, you know, to be there, to tell you, okay, you're doing a good thing, and you know, a coach, a therapist, whatever, it can be a friend or a spouse, whatever, but you need somebody with you in this process, that's for sure. That's for sure.
I think we sort of scared a few people out there. David in Mexico is watching. Hello, David. He says after 27 years in his orchestra, how does he know what stage he's at? I mean, he probably isn't at any stage. I'm sure you're absolutely fine, but still, how do we judge that ourselves? Because it's just a little bit scary to think, you know, you might be just before a burnout. No one wants to be in a burnout. I know one musician who went through it. He never played again.
May I tell you one statistic from last year in Germany of the health insurance company? 10 million hours employees in Germany were out of the work because of the burnout. So it's
okay.
Okay.
So we're not going to. I think before I depress everybody.
No.
How can you judge it yourself?
You can judge yourself. Put the things on a paper. So it means have a diary for just a few days. A diary at the end of the day or during the day. What did you do? If you don't have in your diary not a half an hour of relaxing thing or you know, something that makes you really happy, that brings you a balance in your life, then you know,
what we do makes us happy. I mean, we're happy.
Yes, but it's still a work. Okay, it's still a work, and you have to know that. Your
Horn
practice
Hangouts make me happy.
Okay, that's great, but it's also a stressful situation. So be aware of that, you know. And the balance in life is doing something else. You have also, you know, it's like, you know, it's like your car, you know, you have to put the fuel in it as well from time to time, you know.
Dinka Maria Segera says you are an angel, you're a guardian angel.
Oh, come on.
So there you go.
Thank you.
But a few people have been asking, I mean, okay, I've understood, to take a little diary or go and ask for help to find out. I don't think we all have to be terrified we're on the stage of a burnout. I think to know that there is this thing, and that we really should take care, especially when we're young, that we set up a good pattern for the rest of our professional life.
That's for sure. And just, you know, be good to yourself and also to your colleagues, so to say, you know. And having a balance is also, you know, having the things, you know, what people do. You come home after the whole day of work, practicing, having rehearsals, the concert at the end, you know. And then you sit in the front of TV or a computer thinking you are relaxing.
I usually Skype with Tim when I come home because he's just getting up in the morning.
Okay, chatting with a friend, that's fantastic. But it's really about the thing, and it's really, as I said, small steps, you know. Just try to put on a paper, you know, what are the things that you really love, you know. It could be, I don't know, listen to the music even. But it can be dancing,
listening to music.
I mean, dance, walk, you know, do something for yourself, you know.
My friend Marnie in Sydney, hi Marnie, the horn player in Sydney, she's asked, what are your thoughts on hypnotherapy?
As any other therapy, it can help, of course. It can help on a long term, that's for sure. And there are so many different things, and you have to find the thing that suits you, so to say. Okay, there are people who refuse this for sure, and the people who find it wonderful. You know, but this is something on a long term very helpful. That's for sure.
I've really understood that. After your last hangout, I went home totally inspired, and I thought, right, I'm going to think positive on stage. I'm going to relax. I'm going to do all this. And you had said many times in the last hangout, you have to practice this. You practice your horn every day. You have to practice this. How much did I practice it? Not very much. And that's really, and I'm probably not alone in this. I can imagine, like you say, a lot of people start off with good, like it's New Year's resolutions, and on the way they sort of think, it'll be all right, and then we need the quick fix. How can you inspire, encourage, force people to really keep this up? I guess they have to want it themselves.
I'll turn back to something I already said. Do small steps. Do small steps. Not a big change in your life. You know, it's in a lot like I'm going to practice mental training and relaxing techniques and things like that. It's really about really small things. You just don't believe it how important it is. It's like, I don't know, doing 5 minutes or smiling in front of your mirror. It helps. I mean, it sounds stupid, but it really helps. It helps to do something for you, even if it's only a few minutes. And it's better to do this few minutes than saying, I don't have time for 2 hours in a fitness studio. So that's important to know. But that's important to know. It's better to do it regularly. Anything, you know. Walk to your, I don't know, a rehearsal or something like this, or ride a bike. It's you know, it's better than drive a car, so to say. Things like that, small things that you can change, they can help immensely. And this is something people always think, it's
huge.
It's a huge change in my life. You know, it's a small step that you can do every day and practice something.
That's very inspiring. Thank you. I shall keep you posted on how that goes. Quite a few people have written the same question. We answered it. You answered it in the last one. They want to know about taking medicine when they're nervous. And I know I just think you should maybe answer that one again. What your opinion of this is. I remember the wheelchair analysis of the beta blockers and Valium or whatever there is out there.
Yeah, it's you know, the thing about stage fright and about stress and about anxiety is if you don't learn that you can cope with that, so you cope with that, not some drug, not some, you know, beer or whatever, you can cope with that. This is something you have to learn. If you don't learn it, then the next time you need something because you don't believe you can cope with that.
It's like a security blanket.
It's a security blanket, and as an adult, I mean, you don't need a security blanket, so to say. You have to learn it, even if it's, you know, it's sometimes difficult, I know, but it's so important to have the self-confidence. You need this self-confidence, and you don't have a self-confidence if you started to take any medication.
Can they be a help for people that are really panicking, and really can they be a non-permanent help thing that just
unfortunately no. Unfortunately, that's then psychological thing, you know. Then they know they need something, and then they have no self-confidence they can cope without it. And that's the most important thing to learn, you know. I can cope with that. Because what is actually stress? Stress is not some situation, you know. The situation itself is not neutral, so to say. It's our reaction.
I'm not sure about that. If I'm sitting on stage at the Philharmonie, I would not like to be Stefan Dorr playing the opening of Bruckner 4.
Yeah, but I assure you, there are some people who think playing horn is fun. And
your husband! Your husband, is he watching? Radovan,
I hope so, I don't know.
Radovan, we want to see you on the chat, or can you work out how, you have to put your name in here and type in, so if you're watching, he's in New York, right?
He's in New York at the moment.
He's a very unstressed person.
Oh, it's not true.
He's got a great trainer at home.
No, it's not true, but just few days ago, he played a concert and he said, "You are right. I was not excited at all. It wasn't good."
He needs a little bit of this.
So everybody needs that.
Okay.
That's true. So the thing is, it's not the situation that it's stressful. I mean, tell some military person that's sitting on the stage is stressful.
Yeah.
He would,
Yeah.
he would just laugh.
Yeah.
So it's very relative. So it's not the situation, it's our emotional reaction to the situation. So to have the proper emotional reaction, we have to have resources. So we have to have a memory of coping well with some situation. And this is something we don't have if we take any medication or something like this.
But we can have it if we are nice to ourselves. If
That's it.
We stop this sort of real, this terrible self-thrashing if something
Yes.
goes wrong.
Yeah.
If we eat our bananas, drink our grapefruit juice and our beans and our berries. But I think raising the awareness of it is what you're saying.
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's so important. Raising the awareness of your reactions, of your emotions, awareness of what's going on, how can I cope with that as well, and the awareness that everybody feels the same.
This is what I'm seeing here. Radovan is watching. Radovan is saying hi, happily watching and enjoying every minute of it. Hi Radovan.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
That's
We're on
nice.
it. But yes, raising awareness, small steps. And what we're seeing on the chat is that everybody on the chat is going through the same thing, and that makes us maybe all feel a little bit better about it, because.
And I think this is
Yeah.
a great thing that happens
Yeah.
now, that musicians are talking about it. They are not ashamed that that
Yeah.
they feel that
Yeah.
way. They know that the colleagues feel the same, and they can support each other. They can help each other with little small tips and things like that, and even encouraging each other, like good
and
job.
humor.
And humor, for sure. It makes everything very relative, and it's so important to have this feeling, okay, we are here in it, and feeling the same.
We are so lucky to have you on our Hangouts. Thank you for coming all the way from Salzburg to be with
Great
us
pleasure.
live today. You have a website.
I do,
I'll post it when we
Okay.
put this up, because do you know the address? No.
Yeah, it's dinkamv.com.
DinkaMV.com.
Yeah.
DinkaMV.com. And it's under some sort of.
It's understandable. Yeah. My daughter is working on it.
That's right. And one can book you for Skype sessions.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I'm as I travel a lot, and musicians from all over the world, and we discovered these Skype sessions are working fine.
Yeah.
So yes, I work a lot on Skype.
Well, we're going to have a coffee. I'm going to be getting your diary out and defining when you're planning out when you're free. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
today.
you, Sarah.
are
It's
such an
wonderful to
inspiring
be here.
person, and
Thank
I
you.
hope we'll have you back many, many more times.
Okay.
Thank you all for watching. Thanks for all your messages. I'll make sure Dinka gets a copy of the chat so she can see where everyone has been writing in from and what you thought of it. And it's just great to know you're all out there. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing that this was going on today. And we will see you next time on the Horn Hangouts. So we've got some planning going on. We're not exactly sure of the very next date, but we have Berlin Philharmonic trombones, Jesper Sorensen and Stefan Schultz will be coming on very soon together to do a Horn Hangout. So I think that might be the next one. And Radovan, if you're watching, when is your next Hangout going to be? I think we're going to get you on the phone as soon as we go off the air. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Dinka. You're
Thank
fabulous.
you, Sarah.
Bye.